They're fairly similar to that book.
They're supposed to be connected like they are now.
They're all,
They don't hide behind.
you guys know this whole building's connected to one central. Yeah. And we can have an issue with it, so we're just gonna put individual clocks, change them twice a year.
They're gonna be square like that?
We could order a square, we looked at that, but probably just go a little larger round one to cover up in the
Okay.
shade.
I was like, that's a lot.
So these new clocks be right more than twice a day.
Are they battery operated?
Yes and yes.
Are they battery operated?
Yeah.
And who's gonna be responsible for climbing the ladder to change it?
It's got a higher
Yeah, they maintenance.
maintenance, yeah.
Why is that ladder in my janitorial closet? With the vacuum.
Don't forget the, what do we say,
The left hand and the left.
That's what I'm getting right-handed one now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yesterday, the doctor turned me.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Wednesday. Mike, I'll just turn it over to you.
Great. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Mike Moss, Public Services Director. A fairly light agenda today. We might have some good discussion on item number 4 there, the 5-year capital plan. But starting off with number 1, this meeting date change next Wednesday, just so you can open up your calendar a little bit. We moved our Wednesday 1:30 meeting, like today, till Monday at 10, since you don't have an agenda review, so no Tuesday meeting because it's Veterans Day. So that opens up your guys' Wednesday in case you're out of town or need to be out of town. And so on that Monday meeting on November 10th, we do plan on talking more about custodial. We'll hopefully have more pricing in for the common areas in some of our buildings, and also have gun range discussion on the future of the gun range and what we want to do for in-house versus third party. So we plan on having some visitors with us on Monday for that discussion. Cougar restrooms, number 2. You may be aware, maybe not, the last 2 years, we've had a contract with Pacific Core to
Has it been 2 years?
yeah,
already?
2 years, 24 and 25 with Cougar restrooms. A lot of traffic at Cougar. It's the only public restrooms up there. Some of our work crew go up there, Public Works, Sheriff's Office utilize them a lot, but a lot of tourist traffic. They actually get cleaned 5 days a week currently with Cowlitz under the contract we have, janitorial contract, and 2 days a week in the winter months. Unfortunately, now with the Cowlitz contract for janitorial going away, we'll have to decide if we want to continue to be at Cougar, because we'll have to figure out a way to clean those restrooms. They currently have somebody that's close to that area, that lives close to those restrooms, that do clean them under our current contract with Cowlitz. That would go away. We could certainly ask if they want to continue just at a smaller level contract to clean those restrooms, but we certainly don't think we have the time and effort for our Parks Department or Tourism or Public Works to maintenance to drive to Cougar daily in the summer months to clean those restrooms. So kind of a question to you guys, if we want to continue to be in the bathroom business at Cougar. For years, it was ran through the Port of Woodland contract through Pacific Core. Like 2 years ago, Port of Woodland decided they don't want to do that anymore. That's what they asked the county, Pacific Core did, to take over that contract, and we did. But like I said, we had Cowlitz helping us at that location. May no longer have that option. So figured I'd open it up for discussion how important Cougar restrooms are.
Who's going to take those phone calls? Want me to send them to you, Mike?
They would certainly come to us. It cost us, I think, $15,000-$20,000 a year through the tourism department. The tourism department pays that extra billing to go up there to clean those restrooms at Cougar. I did talk to Kim Bocut earlier this week, if she had anybody in mind that would be able to clean them. Maybe someone that runs a business in the Cougar area that there's a couple not smaller resorts and hotels up there. She didn't have anybody in mind, but we could certainly look at that option again if there's a janitorial crew close to that area that would like to have a smaller contract just to clean those bathrooms.
You're going to hear about it if we close those things.
Yeah, well, yes, yeah, I agree. We hear about it. It's our problem, but it's not, it's Pacific Core's restrooms. We're just in an agreement. It'd be nice if Pacific Core would be able to find maybe another group since they used the port forever than us for the last 2 years. I think that's probably why they reached out to us because they couldn't find anybody else to do it. So
I'll lend you my left-handed toilet brush. Just twice a week.
So if you want, if it's important for us to keep them open, we'll look at options best we can to see how to do that with a third-party contract helping clean those facilities. I just don't see us be able to do it with county forces. It's just, it's too far to drive every single day up that road.
If we don't do them, if we don't do it, it's Pacific Core's responsibility.
It's Pacific Core's restrooms. Our agreement is only to do janitorial services in those restrooms. It's actually their facility, their land.
Other than the cleaning or they do the maintenance on the buildings and take care of all
They
of
do all
that.
that. Parking lot, that's all on Pacific Core.
I think they were just gonna close them.
They were, that's what was gonna happen last time. And then there's some public pushback about closing restrooms because there's no other ones up there.
Nothing else around there.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Where are these bathrooms at?
Right before you get into Cougar on the right-hand side, almost directly across from the Lone Fir
It's
Resort.
like a post office and then it kind of sits back in there and then there's a
It's a
little
building.
restaurant stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right where it's at, correct.
Personal opinion, I think you should try and find somebody to do that because I think the public is gonna come unglued a little bit. They kind of like having them up there.
Yeah, I agree. I think we gotta find some way to maintain that.
Okay. We'll research. All right. Savannah will give you an update on HVAC.
Yeah, good afternoon, Savannah Clement, Public Services. So last week I kind of gave the board the update about the schedule change and shifting some things around. We had our monthly Hall of Justice Maintenance meeting this morning. Commissioner Rader was able to attend, where I shared that we're about 90% complete in the basement area and about 99% complete in DEM. And the only outstanding items in those areas are just some installation of some ceiling tiles. Small sections. One section's a little storage room, and then the hallway area of the basement where you're coming off of the elevator into that area, we'll be replacing those ceiling tiles as well. But as far as the cassettes and the HVAC, electrical, mechanical, those are all really looking really good and they're complete. We're just doing that final step of the ceiling tiles. So the work thus far has been really good. We've been impressed. Our maintenance team's been impressed. It's really, not just clean looking because it's brand new, but the way that it's installed, it's very efficient as far as use of space. So we've opened up a lot more space in the basement. What we do with that space will be up to us. I say lock the doors, don't let anybody put stuff in there, because that's what happens is when there's empty space, it becomes a storage locker. But no, aside from that, the schedule shift I think is a good thing. I'm getting good feedback from the departments that they're seeing a lot of work completed when they're coming in the next morning, which is important for our schedule. And so our task has really just been shifting things around a lot, organization and timing and scheduling a lot of different moves. And so we're still just working through that. We meet daily with different departments and divisions involved. So on that front, it's going well. So I would invite the board, if you guys wanted to do a walkthrough of any completed areas. I don't know that the basement's necessarily granted, it looks much better because it doesn't look like a dungeon in some of those spots anymore. But it might be beneficial to do a basement walkthrough, but also maybe when the second floor area is done with the court system, all of those areas, maybe do a walkthrough with you guys and with the clerk of the board. So anyway, any questions on Millick?
How did we
Go ahead.
prevent somebody from taking over empty spaces and creating
We lock them. Oh, try to lock them because maintenance really only has the key, but then also that whole space allocation process that we recently started doing, that's another mechanism to say, can't just move in and, start using it for an office or storage or whatever. Yeah, there's a process which would go to the board. So it's another way to stop it.
It seems like Miller's been pretty responsive to our needs and the things that we're bringing to their attention. They seem like they're doing a good job to address them and get it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's improved. I think in the beginning, I had pushed back a lot and had some frustrations, myself and the team, on some of the expectations that we had going into it, which was really clean spaces, really noise-free time frames, which wasn't happening in practice. And so, and the courts, honestly, they're really good advocates for themselves as well. And so they would be on site, obviously, kind of making it known. So, but as soon as it was known, the behavior would change and stop. So that's great. That's all we can ask for as long as we identify the problem and they fix it. Great. And let's not do it again, And so we've been seeing results from that. So it's been good.
I was just over there this morning, I guess, or not too long ago, and visiting with district court judges, and they showed me the room that got approved through CIP last program.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really good. Those are impressive temporary walls compared to what I'm used to
Yeah.
seeing.
That's the same
pretty
discussion we
nice
had
project. Yeah.
this morning. Yeah, we're happy with, it's a different company that we've used in the past. The other company, which you guys have probably heard of, Correctional Industries, so they do it through the Department of Corrections for Washington State. Long lead times, getting really, really expensive compared to some other companies. So we recently started out with this other company, and the name just escaped me. It's OneSource or something like that. Anyway, their wall panels, they're not just cubicle walls. They're like modular walls. Like it's just a good product.
They're as solid as a wall.
Yeah, and the cost, I was saying this morning, it's about a third cheaper than what we're seeing with other companies. So I think the only, not question, but unknown now is like the longevity, right? So we know the quality is good, the price is good, and we're hoping, and our friends at District Court will let us know.
So it makes me, are they working under Millig? Did you coordinate? So that's totally separate.
Right, that's our team that.
When Millig's building the walls and the deals, are we looking at the same type of thing or not? They
don't-
use a different?
We don't have any plans to do any other like modular walls.
Okay.
With the Millig project, but no, and it is separate from Millig.
We're just tying them up.
Correct.
Ceiling, that's what we're doing with them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're going all the way to the ceiling?
For the district court one or for Millig?
District court.
Yes, both. I guess I should said yes. Yeah, they both are going to the ceiling. Yeah.
So how easy are they to move if they decide to remodel again?
Well, we will tell them no. If they decided, I mean, they are still modular, so they can be moved, which is another benefit. In seeing pictures, there is a little bit of a very small, you can't see it even really with the eye, but there is small gaps, and we'll be putting some insulation board just, for noise level. So they're attached as far as like attached on the ends, but they're not flush to the ceiling to where we would do damage if we took them out or something. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, aesthetically, they don't look like what I would think of a temporary wall. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
they look really good.
Yeah. We're making some good strides at the hall. It's looking better, functionally and mechanically, it's going to perform better. And I think those are all things that we want to see. So,
Even just the feel with the change of lights,
yeah.
that in and of itself is you feel like it's a completely different building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw pictures today that were the 360 pictures. And when he first showed them to me yesterday, I saw him before the group saw him today. I was like, what room is that? Because I'm pretty familiar with the 911 area, and I had to have him panel around because it was the 911 area. And if you've ever been in there, it's like a dungeon. It was actually that room, and I didn't even, aside from the ugly floor tiles, I didn't even recognize the space because it looked so bright and clean compared to what it was. So, yep, good observation. Any more questions on Millig? Okay. I did have one miscellaneous item that I had talked to the board a lot about previously with that Doppler mass notification. So this is a miscellaneous item before we get into the 5-year plan. And we were actually, because we secured 3 bids and it was less than the purchasing threshold, we were able to have Mike sign that agreement. And we've actually already started kind of the beginning stage implementation of that system. We've met with them twice, them being Doppler, and members of our team so that they understand our system, our union contracts tied into how we do call outs. So we're kind of working through that, the beginning phases of that, but we hope to have something live here in the next month or so. So I'm excited for it. It's been a really long time coming. So I hope to have more updates on how that's working out. Give you guys some hopefully good news. That's it. Okay. Am I okay to stay up here and you go up there, or do you want to come here? Yes.
So last week we discussed the 5-year capital maintenance plan. Sean dropped off another big, large sheet in front of you today. Like, there's a lot of numbers from last week. We just want to give you guys the opportunity to look at it again. I think on Monday, we're also going to discuss it because the sheriff's department's going to come over at 10 a.m. and talk about the storage building, which is what number is that, Sean?
22.
22.
22 on the list. And so I'll turn it over to Sean.
Yeah, so last week, we got first looks at this, give the board some time to take another look at it. If you had some thoughts over the week, just really want to give the opportunity to have a better discussion on it and go through it with any detail that the board would like to, so we can make some decisions probably.
The storage shed, is it currently being used for like current documents, or are we just holding historical stuff there?
Or was
For
that
the
for the
sheriff's
sheriff's office?
Yeah.
It's new construction. There is no current building. Do you want to explain the current setup?
Yeah, so we went out for a bid on this and got some numbers back on it earlier this year. It was above budget. It was for a 60 by 100-foot building, I believe, on the corner of the expo lot across the street from the coroner's office, kind of where the dirt ramp is and other items.
They're currently leasing a few storage units around Cowlitz County to hold evidence in. And I think they have it scattered throughout different buildings of Public Works also, and then the first floor basement of HOJ. So I think they're trying to put it all in one location. Plus, not just for evidence storage, they're looking at locating a few of their vehicles there, including their boats and trailers, which are currently located at Public Works shops. So I think they're trying to find one central location to put most of their material and trucks and trailers at.
Are we paying rent where they're at now?
Yes.
Yes. I could tell you exactly how much maybe Sean has.
I don't have their rent numbers, but maybe on Monday they could present that.
Yeah, I confused this with that capital project on the building that we were gonna do the renovating on. One of the 4 or
Over
5.
by the
that you
juvenile.
presented us,
Oh, the CIP one?
Juvenile.
Oh, yeah, that's a storage shed. Yes, you're right. So yeah, that does
I was
exist.
gonna say, wait a second, we went from that to.
Sorry, yeah. Well, and I try not to get up here and do too much talking about the historical, but this project started back before COVID. And so they being the sheriff's office, got permission from the board at that time to move forward. I think the budget was established at 150. And they were actually going to locate it behind the Public Works building in our secure parking area. COVID hit, COVID prices hit, and then also stormwater implications for permitting made the project just not attainable. So a year and a half ago, they came back to the board and got an increased budget of actually, I think less than this. I think it's gone up again since then. I think it was about 300,000.
Was 300.
And so we started with that number. Initial bids came back, creeped up over this 400,000-ish, without any actual like design or anything done yet. So just to be transparent, we do have, just some concerns that pricing could exceed this. We're not sure. We've been working with the city of Longview on the stormwater requirements. The building itself is now being located at the corner of the fairgrounds as discussed. So county-owned property, but in the city of Longview. So we still have to abide by their engineering standards and stormwater standards.
Well, and the latest number we got from the city of Longview on stormwater was between $50,000 to $75,000. So when we visited with the sheriff's office earlier this week, they have talked about they want to come talk to you on Monday about it, just because there's continue to be price increases on this and see where the extra money is going to come from. But also maybe there's a discussion, they get a smaller building that goes below the stormwater threshold for the city of Longview, where they don't have to spend that extra 50 to 75,000 also. So
How small does it have to be to get underneath that?
that's a moving target. It took us a while to get those numbers from the city of Longview. I think it'd be a little easier, but we actually went over there a few times and visited with them in person. It's been in progress for quite a few months just to get that initial number from them.
We also worked with our own building and planning team to try to like figure out some guidelines, some general to help us, but it's been.
How many
learning.
storage units are we renting to hold this evidence?
We
That's
can
a
get that for you
Great
Monday.
question for Monday.
Yeah.
We can tell the sheriff's office to make sure they have that available when they come in Monday.
Mhm. So we
I'm
have
hearing
storage.
figures closer to 600.
Yeah, it is.
I-
It is. And I think that's what the question is going to be, if they have extra money available in other line items that they could be able to pull from for this. We also informed Kathy from finance that this was going to be discussed Monday, so I would guess Kathy will be in the audience on Monday also.
Well, the evidence storage part of this new building is going to be only future evidence, or is it going to move anything from someplace else?
It's my understanding they're going to try to centralize, but they won't be able to centralize all of it. They do have certain evidence stored at the hall in their current facility. They have an office set up down there where their clerk's at. I don't believe they'll plan on moving a lot of that, but they will be relocating some of the other decentralized storage that they have.
Okay. Will this structure goes up other than eliminating some rent somewhere? Is it going to eliminate any other buildings that we already own?
I do not believe so.
I
No.
don't think so.
No.
Okay.
And we don't have any other buildings we can store stuff in? I mean, we've got an upstairs here.
That
Great.
could be explored.
Yeah, great question for.
Be cheaper
Yeah.
than $650,000.
Weren't they at one time wanting to consolidate where they kept their boats and stuff too?
That's
This,
what it is, yeah.
this will be,
This will consolidate. We have two boats now at Public Works, the
Emergency-
SWAT unit and
Mhm.
command center, I think are both at the main facility for ER&R. There's also, I think, a boat at Riverside. They have a third boat somewhere. I think it's at Riverside right now.
Do they have one at Colamba also?
yes,
In the summer months, I think
Yeah.
they do more at there, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah,
so it'd be opening up storage space for us, at Public Works in our last bay there.
We've been living with the boats for years, so it's not a.
Yeah.
big
cause I
deal.
thought you were talking about some of your trailers and some of your,
Mm-mm.
No,
no,
I think Kim was looking at maybe doing one of the lean-tos off the side of the building for some of her
Tractor.
equipment, tractors and stuff from the fairgrounds, but nothing from Public Works would be going over there. It's all sheriff.
Do they own a travel trailer also?
I think that's search and rescue over at the SAR building off Grade Street.
Yeah. They have the RISAD, we call it.
Yeah,
The one
There's a lot.
the one they use for security at the fair
Correct.
gate?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have a pretty nice complex over there.
Yeah.
Lot of space inside. They have boats, not boats, but their travel trailer, side by side, a
Their truck.
couple of different miscellaneous off-road trucks for search and rescue.
I think the other item, big looming, of course, is juvenile, right? So if you guys wanted to discuss any further on that, we were able to meet with it as a team with George and his folks over there to discuss their future request and the process of trying to get another request in. In talking with them more, the majority of their request is a capital request, but mainly for IT services. The only facilities role in that request, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the lock system, the pneumatic controls, updating the components in those, the compressors, the lines, they're leaking. So we did invite them to come, and not today necessarily, but any Wednesday, 1:30, to talk about these items with the board, get it in front of the board, work with Kathy on requests for funding. So that could be coming in the future as well.
Because currently those items aren't budgeted in their budget, of course, not in our CIP because it's above our threshold. It's going to be, we're guesstimating $500,000 plus for their upgrades.
Yeah.
We don't even have CIP in the budget line item past next year
Mhm.
because of the improvements just to that building. So, and we told them that, so we were pretty upfront that.
building keeps on giving.
Yeah, it's kind of not a smaller scale. It's like the Hall of Justice, and unfortunately Commissioner Dahl came in on 2 buildings and we've gotten rolling on the one, the hall, and trying to get that where it needs to be. This is the other one,
Yeah, I think the crux of this conversation really is we need to decide what we're gonna do with that building. for the future. And we're statutorily required to have one because of our population?
That's by,
It's my understanding.
yeah, that's true. We have a little bit of an out because of the condition of the building. We can work with other counties and try and do some of that.
Yeah.
Which I personally think we need to keep doing. Doesn't look like Lewis wants to be involved, tried real hard there, but
They have a small facility too now. I think they have 30 beds now. That's it, Lewis.
but
Yeah.
be it a Wasack thing at the end of November, there's some people I want to talk to there. I know, one of the judges told me today, he's from Eastern Washington, and I forget the two counties he said are working together on a lot of these shared type things, so. I know there's some precedent out there for it.
Mhm. Well, if we can do anything as far as provide information or, numbers, estimates, we can do that if the information will be helpful. If not, like I said, I think we'll continue to move forward with the budget as proposed unless we hear otherwise.
We're currently co-oping with Wahkiakum, right? We're utilizing our building for their
Mhm.
youth services.
Mhm.
Do we have any other counties that we're utilizing?
We do, I have,
Pelican, Pacific,
and
Clatsop in Oregon,
yep.
and I think is St. Helens, Columbia.
yes, yeah, several. And Lewis, we actually do too. Like we offered overflow for when they were getting their building, they have a new upgraded
Yeah,
facility.
when they were redoing their building, we took some of their kids.
Wow, we have that many and the population's still that low.
Mhm.
I know
Good.
Grays and Thurston are talking. That's one of the groups I thought might be worth talking to. Maybe there's three of us that can get together.
Yeah.
That's actually surprising. That it's that low. I mean, that's great. But wow.
Well, it's that low because the standard for what you're gonna put somebody in there for has gone so low.
Yeah. See. And I've said this before, but when it came about, you were housing 85, 100 kids. You go in there for detention if you didn't go to school, right?
Yeah.
And all that has changed. And so you could have a facility, but it needs to be much, much smaller. But how you get around that price tag, I don't know,
I think Mike said it for once, they were forward thinking and building a larger facility, assuming, they were going to have the population growth, and it did the opposite, So I think they were building for what they should have at the time and far exceeded what we're seeing now.
And it's difficult to use the other parts of that because it's a juvenile facility.
Correct.
So it has to be juveniles unless you really do some work to
So
make sure nobody can pass between type thing. Yeah. It's a frustrating experience.
Well, if we can help as far as, like I said, provide information, please let us know.
Yeah, because we have about 6.5 million in the next 5 years, at least budgeted for that facility, not including what we talked about for door locks and cameras, which is a new item.
I know that you gave us a figure one time, just a pretty good estimate of about 10 million to
Yeah.
bring it up to par.
Yeah.
Which is
Yep.
what we're spending over at the Hall of Justice right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
10 million from where it's at right now.
Mhm.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just all kind of black and white or one way or the other. We are trying to work on, again, short-term solutions, especially with the roof leaks. We've got schools using that to provide school services, and they've got their equipment in there. So we're looking at, what can we do to get us by, so we're still doing those things. But eventually we're going to have to,
Oh,
pay the
yeah.
piper. We're going to have to do something major.
And this isn't new to any of us. I mean, you guys inherited this, and I don't know how long before we got on board. It's the jail or juvie roof's been on the list, but I know
Oh, yeah.
for the last 2 or 3 years, it's been on our list. So I'm sure it's been on there way before that.
Yeah.
It's a ballast roof with lots of tens of thousands of pounds of rock on it. So WeatherGuard was there pulling a lot of the rock off late last week, early this week, trying to find some of our newer leaks. I haven't got an update to see how well they've.
Oh, I do have a little update. Sorry, I met with him yesterday afternoon, and so I saw some pictures. It's in really, of the 20 by 20 section above the classroom that I just described, in very poor shape. They're looking to do a 20 by 20-foot patch, which seems like a new roof to me, for a garage or something. So we're waiting on, I don't have a quote for that yet, but that's what they're looking to do to just at least get us by. And what they said, they being WeatherGuard, is they think that could get us by for maybe a year or two, just in that section.
So what kind of procedure are they using to find leaks? Just out of curiosity.
So I can only say what I think they're doing, which is from pictures that I saw, which they had removed all of the, as he described, the lava rock off of the TPO roof, because that's what it looks like, is a TPO type of a product. And it's actually, what it was described to me was, it's like, oh, that's not mud, that's roof material. So what it looks like, kind of just mud built up around the roof after getting the ballast off, is actually the material itself kind of degenerating and just breaking down. So the leaks could be anywhere in that 20-foot section with that type of breakdown, just seeing it. So their method isn't scientific from what it looks like. It's really truly just trying to,
Falling from the ceiling.
yeah, they're scraping the rock off and
Didn't
trying
they
to,
fix the leak here?
Yeah. Oh, they did, yeah.
is
Did
there a
we find
leak?
out why that was leaking though?
What was leaking?
Oh, yeah, we had a leak in the.
Leak we had here running into the,
They must have, they probably jumped out without us.
Yeah, they probably dealt with it without us telling. Yeah.
It was interesting that WeatherGuard just fixed it this year, right?
Yeah.
They fixed
yeah.
different ones. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
numerous leaks in certain buildings, but yeah, you had a leak just recently since the new roof.
Since the new roof?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Over the weekend,
yeah,
I
like day
think,
before
something like
yesterday.
that.
yeah, I had no idea.
Good crew, they got it fixed.
Yeah, they didn't tell, it must not have been over a certain price threreshold. I don't know. We
That's
didn't know
probably
about
one
it.
of
Warranty
the
item.
warranty item.
Warranty, yeah, so we wouldn't know, but
So the moral is, don't fix your roof.
gosh,
Buy more buckets.
yeah, do more
More,
patches.
more garbage cans.
Almost, they got some job security stuff going on there.
Well, I will
Stop
say we're not
walking on it
doing,
with your cork boots.
we will not be doing any more ballast roofs, so I can tell you that.
Or multi-level.
Or
roofs.
multi-level angled toward the building roofs.
yeah.
So do you guys for now?
I think you're right. You just keep this here and I think we need to address it, but I mean, we know it needs to be done, so it sits there, and how we do it is a decision we'll end up making here.
Okay.
Do you want us to continue to kind of like come back to workshop like this, or just kind of we're good? Unless there's something gets brought up, otherwise we'll bring it forward on the December 2nd. Is that? I just don't want to keep bringing it to you, every week to,
Well, yeah, I just think just keep it in the plan.
Okay.
And we'll deal with it.
Okay.
We've been trying to deal with it. We're just not making a whole lot of headway right at the moment.
Correct.
I appreciate you keeping it in front of us.
You're welcome. If there's any other items of interest other than,
Just the facade, but we'll have more information on that at the December time period, it sounds like.
yeah. Mhm. The first weekend they'll be in here.
and we do plan on leaving the museum number 15 in there, like we talked about before. That's one of our last that is our last parking lot to do. So we'll hit that next summer.
We own that building, right? Right, Mike?
Mhm.
But doesn't the historical society pay something over there? How much do they? How's that agreement work? I know they do some of the expense
I believe that there's a lease of that building for the use of it.
for the use of it that the historical society pays. Okay,
But we're in charge of all maintenance.
Mhm.
For
Interior,
the
exterior.
exterior side of
Exterior.
it, yeah. I have to pull that lease to get a better idea of it.
makes sense. That'd be typical. I just didn't know how they shared that building with us.
Thank you. You guys having, miss?
I do have one question real
Please.
quick, and this might be directed to Susan. I'm gonna go to the Port of Kalama meetings this week, and I just want to know, where are we on the road that they wanted vacated? Yeah. In case that comes up.
My short answer is I will have to go talk to the right-of-way agent to find out where they are, because I have given that over to the right-of-way department to get all the paperwork together so that we can run that process. So I will, when I get back to the office, talk to him and I'll email you a better answer then.
Okay, because when we talked before, weren't we waiting on something from Kalama? So we got what we needed from them and we're,
Yes, thank you for reminding me, because I had a couple of them in my brain, because originally we were under the impression that they owned all of the area they wanted to be vacated, and they did not. And I'll have to find out where they were in the process, because we asked them a very specific question about what they wanted done, and I don't know what the response is. So,
okay. If we could follow up with them on that, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get asked this, where we're at with that.
I will get you that information.
Thank you.
Is that this afternoon?
Tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow.
Okay, I will try and get you the answer this afternoon, tomorrow morning at the latest.
I believe the Port of Kalama is also coming on Monday to talk about the path and trails at 11 o'clock, that funding source that the city of Castle Rock just recently tapped into. So I think they have a presentation on Monday at 11 o'clock. In case you see that on your calendar and curious.
Is that what's his name came to talk to us about?
I think
Same thing?
Dave came in from Castle Rock, come and talked to us. They wanted to extend that trail from where it ends at what they call Lions Park
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
The same funding source. I think there's $800,000 in there approximately.
Yeah, we have approximately $800,000 of uncommitted monies currently.
And the city of
So
Castle
the-
Rock requested 70,
So
60.
65. But that's the same source, the same pot and the same use of the monies. I think they're going to be asking for one of their projects coming up.
Okay.
And that is, there's a trail that goes from Castle Rock to Woodland, right? Is that what the purpose of that is?
Is that the Six Rivers Trail?
So there is a planned trail that if you go on COG's website that you can see, and it runs along multiple roads, and Castle Rocks is separated. So that is the trail that Dave has been working on. Because to use, you can correct me if I'm wrong, path and trails money, it has to be on the adopted region-wide trail. As an alternate transportation method, you cannot use it for sidewalks. It has to be a path.
And that's different than rails to trails.
Yes.
Okay. Trying to get these square in my head.
So I can give you a little rundown. We'll probably talk about it again on Monday, but the Path and Trails Fund is a shave off of motor vehicle fuel tax. And so that does, we put 2.5% of our motor vehicle fuel tax into this reserved fund for paths and trail use. And we do have a 10-year spend limit on that. Oh, we can go to 0.
Oh, so we can exhaust the whole thing.
Mhm. So currently, we put 2.5% into that, shaved off the top of motor vehicle fuel tax. The statutory minimum on that is 0.42%. So back in 2000, I think it was 7, the board made a decision to increase that from the 0.42% to 2.5% of the motor vehicle fuel tax.
And if it goes back to the 0.4, where can those funds be reallocated?
So once it's in the fund, it has to stay in the fund. But if we were to reduce it, those would be road fund dollars at that point.
Is it a significant amount a year?
About 60,000, 70,000.
Okay.
It has been going down, just like motor vehicle fuel tax as well.
Okay. Anything else?
Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you. We will adjourn.